All right, Dr. Z, on today's edition of the Thrive Time Show, we are interviewing a Marine Corps veteran and the co-founder of Eagle Ops.
Wow.
Z, are you glad we have people out there?
That sounds just cool. Eagle Ops.
Are you excited that we have people fighting for our country to keep our country free, or would you rather be on the front lines right now?
Well, I don't know how to dig a foxhole, so I'm going to leave it up to the trained men and women who protect our country and our values and our freedoms.
Amen to that. If you're out there and you have served in this great United States military, we thank you so much, and here we go.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes. Dr. Z, it is always ecstasy when you are next to me. How are you, sir?
Right back at thee. I am fantastic.
You had a rhyme after a rhyme. That's a triple rhyme. Z,
Did I get a mega point for that?
I think you do get a mega point for that.
Maybe half a mega
It was
point.
biblical, too.
The.
Biblical.
I like that.
It's very
Wow.
impressive.
You
Very
know it.
impressive. Very kind of King
Well.
James of you.
Well, yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, so on today's show, we have a gentleman who is a Marine Corps veteran and the co-founder of Eagle Ops. Stacy Hester, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Good, Clay. Thank you, brother, for having us.
Hey, so tell us here, what is it that you are working on right now? Because there's so many listeners out there that are pro-military, pro-veteran. They want to get involved. See, some of our listeners always have the credit card ready to go to support Great Americans.
Oh, yeah. Got plastic in hand.
Stacy, tell us, what are you working on there, sir?
Well, our next big upcoming event is our Welcome Home 5K. That event it's a powerful event. It's important to us because we have folks asking us all the time, what do we say to service members and veterans? And a lot of folks, not even necessarily knowing what to say, but with the very best of intentions, say thank you for your service. That's a reference to the past tense. So we want to be able to influence our culture and bring our veterans and our service members into the present. So we created this event called Welcome Home to honor our service members and our veterans and use that platform to shift the culture so that those in our communities begin to say to our service members when they're coming home, because the battle is for home, welcome home.
And when is your next event you're doing? When is your next Welcome Home event?
Great question, man. November 14th is our Welcome Home 5K this year. And it's not just the Welcome Home where we are honoring our service members and our veterans who are still with us. We have, and this is really the heartbeat of one of our co-founders, Jessica Shepard. We have what's called the Honor Mile. We work with Gold Star families around the nation, and they submit applications to fallen family members. When you come into that final section of the 5K, you'll be going through on both sides large memorial placards of service members who've paid the ultimate sacrifice, over 200 of them, as taps is being played by a fellow devil dog by the name of Paul Bowman on his bagpipes.
You know, Z, I want to, Paul, I know you have a hot take on this, but I want to hammer this home just for a second. Freedom is not free. It's just not.
It's just not.
And I think it's so easy. One of my biggest frustrations I have is it's a weird thing. It's that we are free to be the biggest jackasses in the world if we want to be.
Correct.
Until too many of us are jackasses, and then we lose our freedom.
This is how it works, I believe. I think I'm following you.
So, I mean, I see people who are, I'm 39, but I see people who are 29, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, Paul, I'm sure you've seen this, who will post anti-military things on their social media accounts.
Right.
And for some reason, they like to tag me in them or send them my way or whatever. But the Declaration of Independence, that controversial document, see, that's a controversial
Very
document.
controversial.
The
I know.
reads, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." So what I'm
Amen.
going to do here, Z, is I'm going to throw out the name of a country because you've traveled a lot, okay?
Yes.
And you tell me whether that country had a higher standard of living than these United States or a lower, okay?
Okay, this is going to be. Is this a trick question?
Well, you can ask me first if you want. I'll go first. Okay, here we go. I love the great people of Mexico. Absolutely great people. Paul, have you been to Mexico?
I have.
For me, the standard of living that I witnessed in Mexico is significantly lower than that of these United States. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Okay. And the wonderful woman that we've hired to clean our home, she started her own business. She's doing well. Her kids are going to college. She told me, listen, man, people want to come to America. I mean, America is the place people want to come to. She immigrated here to be here, but Mexico isn't doing as well as these United States. I've been to Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States, kind of. It is not a state, but you get it. It's a territory.
Correct.
Have you been there, Z?
No, I haven't. Well,
Really?
yes, I
Oh.
have, but not an extended stay. It was kind of one of those cruise ship stops for the day kind of
Well,
stay,
I was
you know.
told by the wonderful people that were giving us a tour and leading the way, they said, it's a great place to be. You just don't want to go out at night.
Oh, well, then it gives you half the day.
Then I went to Brazil. Paul, have you been to Brazil?
I have not.
I can just see if have you been to Brazil?
No, but I've been to several South American countries.
I'm going to say Brazil. Big. They're doing their best, but they're not doing that well.
Right.
Then I went to Roatan. Z, have you been to Roatan?
No, I haven't. Is that where you
That's
go?
not
Is
a
that
real-
one of those rowing machines and then you get a tan while you're doing
I
it?
didn't
don't
realize
know.
I'm the international
That's not
man
a
of
real
mystery here.
place.
I've been to. Have you guys been to Honduras? Have you been to Honduras?
Honduras. No.
I've been
yes,
there, too.
Yes, I have been to Honduras, yes.
Okay, and was it better standard of living or less?
Less. Same with Ecuador. Same with
Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to go across the pond if you want to get a little closer.
Okay,
You know?
we're gonna go to Europe, UK.
Let's go.
What
Let's
about,
go over there.
What about in
Let's hop on
England? England, Doctor Z.
Well,
Is it worse over there or better? You have more economic freedom over there or less?
England specifically, we'll call it Great Britain as its entirety. They are a lower standard of living than we are. Yes.
My friend Andy Matherin moved from England to escape the government regulation. He came over here and decided to stay.
Yeah,
I mean-
a good friend left Northern Ireland, came over here and followed the American dream, and man, just what a great success story.
So Ireland, standard of living is. I'm trying to think. Are there other planets?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there's a lot of other planets.
So I would say, are there other planets that have the freedoms that we have? Do we know? Do we have proof they don't? We don't.
I'm not sure. I haven't been to Saturn lately.
So we don't have proof that the other planets don't have a higher standard of living.
Right.
Just
Correct.
like we don't have proof that COVID couldn't kill everybody. So we should probably just assume the other planets do have
Yes.
more freedoms than we have, and we should
Yeah.
assume
So
COVID
now
can
we
kill
just-
us all.
Now we're just waiting on Elon Musk to get us a ride up there.
But
right?
seriously, though, so you guys are protecting and making these great United States wonderful. I want to ask you, how do you process when you see on social media people disrespecting the flag, burning the flag, Antifa? How do you process that?
I may be constantly processing that, Clay. It's like when you've lost friends
Yep.
and that flag drapes the casket that brings them home. The power of meaning and significance when you see it disrespected, where people are protesting the emblem, the very thing that represents the freedoms that they're asserting. They're disrespecting the very emblem of that which gives them the freedoms they're asserting, that we fought for. Many of us died for. And more of us are dying on the other side of active duty to suicide after coming home.
What I want to do is I want to take, if I can, I have two questions I want to ask you that I'm not qualified to ask, and then I'd like for you to share with us about what you're doing to help the people that are back home.
Sure.
How I process it, and I shouldn't do this, Paul, I shouldn't do this.
Oh, I got your back.
But I'll watch TV,
Uh-oh.
and it's like a certain barrage of curse word combinations come out of my mouth every time I see these Antifa idiots. It makes me crazy. And I never fought, but I've had friends who did. And I cannot stand these maggots of society, although I respect they have the ability to be jackasses. But what would you say? I mean, if someone's listening to this show, there's got to be somebody listening to the show who's, because a lot of these Antifa idiots, they live with their mom. You know what I mean? A lot of these Antifa people, they live in their mom's basement. See?
Sure.
So
They
there's
don't
probably
get-
a member of the Antifa squad listening to today's show. What would you say to them? Some knucklehead that's out there burning down flags. What would you say to these people?
Do you recognize or do you realize that that flag represents the very things that you assert to be fighting for? So when you dismantle, when you disgrace the American flag, What is that even saying about the very protests that you're putting on? And Clay, it saddens me deeply to see the types of things that we're seeing all over this nation as a Marine Corps veteran. And I interface across the country with veterans through the work that I do. And I think the ignorance of it saddens me. I think that we have an education system that's indoctrinating our children. And I think, where we have people fighting for term limits, I'm not opposed to that. I'm a proponent of that. But I think in 2 generations where all we're voting into office are functional Marxists and communists, I don't think term limits will matter. And so I think we've got to start attacking the education system and doing our very best. And I do that. I try to do that as a U.S. Marine Corps veteran to speak to and educate people on just what that flag actually means, the true history of this nation in its context, why we have the Second Amendment, which also protects, by the way, the First Amendment, and so on and so forth.
Now, you have my final question I want to ask you, then I'll get out of the way and let Paul ask you some questions and have you share about what you're doing in the present to help people. The NBA, I was watching an interview on Fox with Tucker Carlson, and he was interviewing somebody who is heavily involved in the NBA. And
I think I saw that interview.
And he was talking about how he's asking this gentleman who happens to be a black man, he's asking him about the NBA ratings and why they're down so much. And the commentator, who happens to be a black guy, points out, he says, well, it would be the equivalent of Disney World all of a sudden replacing Mickey Mouse with Nicki Minaj as the greeter of all the kids. And instead of it being a safe place for kids, it becomes like a sexual place where parents don't want their kids to be. He said that's what the NBA has done. The NBA has basically offended their entire fan base. Is it shocking to you that many people have turned off the NBA since they've decided to disrespect the flag with each and every game? I mean, is it shocking to you there? Are you shocked that the American people have turned off the league?
I'm encouraged.
So am I. I was fired up.
Amen.
I'm encouraged. I don't know that I'm shocked, but I'm encouraged. And, brother, I've turned to include even OU football after they decided to wear the BLM Marxist logo on their uniforms. I'm done with sports. None of those quote-unquote societal heroes, what have they done for this country? What have they sacrificed? The very folks who stand on these pedestals who have become millionaires, what have they done? I mean, what have they sacrificed for this country?
My kids basically we watch patriotic documentaries at all times now. That's all we're watching now, man. Because it's like I can't even watch it. It makes it's crazy to me. Paul, is it shocking to you that the NBA and these other leagues? I mean, they followed the money and they found that the NBA is heavily funded by China. And see, I'm sure you saw that on Fox.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, is it shocking to you? Did you ever think you would see a time in American history where you'd be looking at so many players who are disrespecting our flag?
Well, it's and I kind of have very strong opinions on that. Is the whole shut up and just entertain us, because that's all they are. Is they're no different than
musicians, maybe
musicians or people that are in movies. We don't care. They think because they've attained a certain amount of financial a level that they owe it to us and that their opinion actually matters. And the reality is, we don't care what they say. You haven't earned the right to tell me anything, because the reality is Clay, you talk about this, I talk about this all the time, that you can be successful in life by being lucky, having some obscene talent, or working your butt off. And the reality is 99% of these people have an extreme talent. So they were blessed by their creator to be able to be where they're at. Yeah, maybe they worked hard. They went to the gym all the time. That would be rough. But the reality is they haven't done anything to earn my respect from a financial standpoint. And a majority of them will be dead broke in 3 years after they leave the NBA. So just shut up and play the game.
You're telling me you don't turn to Cardi B for advice on how to raise your kids?
I used to, but not anymore.
No.
Oh,
okay.
No.
So now what you're doing is you're being part of the solution. You're not being part of the problem here, Stacy, and that's what's great. You're doing things to raise awareness And your mission statement for your organization, which again, the organization here is called Eagle Ops. The mission statement, if I'm misquoting it, please let me know. The mission statement is connecting relationships and resources to bring our heroes home one operation at a time.
Boom. You nailed it.
Oh,
brother.
I got. Oh, wow. Z. I'm gonna. I don't get a
read it
mega
off their
point.
website.
No, I didn't. I wrote it off. I read it off of something I typed up earlier.
Oh, from their website, because I'm sitting there looking at it. You did a very good job, by the way.
Clay's on
Nice
point.
inflection.
Oh.
Nice inflection.
See, you know what?
Eagle Ops Foundation.
I'm going to give
It's
myself not a mega point. I'm going to give myself a little boom.
EagleOps.org.
.org. Okay.
And I'm assuming the eagle that's represented, is it the golden? Is it the bald? Is it the...
Yeah, bald eagle.
Of course.
Patriotism. You got it.
And nobody gives the golden eagle any love.
Is there such a thing as a hairy eagle?
Is there?
I don't know. I mean, is there a mutant kind of hybrid eagle out there that has more hair than average?
I think that'd be mutant.
I don't know.
There's a lot of celebration. We
That's-
talk.
I mean,
That's
why
called a
not?
buzzard. That's called a buzzard, I think.
I'm just saying, the bald eagle. You know, what if the hairy eagles are being
There's
discriminated
a
against?
harpy eagle. That's close to hairy, but there's a harpy eagle.
Harpy? What does that look like?
Harp. I don't know. They harp a lot.
You being serious?
Yeah.
I
It's
just
kinda
feel
cool.
like
It's
there's a
kinda
lot
cool.
of
It's kinda
celebration
cool
of the bald
looking.
eagle, and I respect that. But are there hairy eagles that are being discriminated against?
Here's what I want to know: is
If
why
so, I
when
bet you
he
Cardi
says
B's fighting for them.
when he says the word bald eagle, why the hell does he look at me? He's always turns and looks this way when he says bald eagle.
This is the group. Andrew, if you can cut to the camera here, you can see.
I wonder if they have a mullet eagle.
Oh,
I wonder, is there a mullet eagle?
Paul, you might have to hop into the shot with Stacy so we can see you. But both are you
Jump
guys,
in, bro.
you guys are rocking the Bruce
in, man.
Willis look there. See, look at that.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
aerodynamic of you guys.
Very, very aerodynamic.
Okay, so Stacy, if we want to get involved and support you, what can we do?
We really try to drive people. Thank you, brother, for giving a shout out to the webpage. We use that platform for sure, but we really try to drive people to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/EagleOps1. We really try to drive people to our page there. We have a donate tab on that page. We have a lot of wonderful donors there. This very community is the folks that we call the Eagle Ops family that make our mission possible. You can go to our Facebook page. If you click on the events tab, you, through that tab, can see all of our rally points. People can text the word Eagle to 51660, and you'll receive within a 24-hour period of our rally point, every single rally point that we do in the community where we live out the mission, Clark, that you read, will be texted out as a reminder, because we know we have a lot of veterans, Vietnam era, who are not leveraging social media. So we created a texting platform, where we could try to bridge that gap to reach all of the service members and veterans in our community.
Do you? Again, I'm not in the military. Probably because they have standards. Z, you can't just go in. You have to certain standards. To be in the Marines, I mean, you have to do these.
They probably wouldn't have a helmet big enough for your head.
Well, when you wear a size 16 and a half helmet, you
probably your limiting membrane, I would imagine.
Unbelievable.
So good.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to, and a lot of these Marines, you guys will jump out of helicopters, perfectly good helicopters.
brother.
You jump out of there.
Many
My head
times.
can't fit through the door.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough.
So
You know, a funny story. When I went, I spent some time with Marine Corps Reconnaissance. So I was with that Special Operations community, and I remember being in jump school, and where you've got hundreds, both Navy SEALs, recon guys. You got your Rangers on the Army side, going to jump school together at Fort Benning, Georgia. And I was like, leading up to the time where we did all the training, we're getting ready to jump live. First live jump, right?
first live jump.
First live jump. And I'm like, Lord, I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not. Just don't let me. I just don't want to be the first guy out.
Now, quick question I want to ask you. How do you practice, before we'll go back to this, how do you practice non-live jumps? Is a bunch of guys standing on grass going, okay, and we're jumping.
Here we go.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
I mean,
jump.
how do you practice?
Everything we do in the military, repetition. So as silly as it sounds, that little layer right there, that brick wall right there,
Yeah.
rock, we had boxes, wooden boxes.
You jump off the boxes?
We jump up on the boxes and do our practice, knees locked together, feet together, tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll,
'Cause
baby.
The
Tuck
T10,
and roll.
The T10 parachutes we use
Tuck
in
and
that
roll.
community, there's no stand-up landing.
Yeah, when I was a gymnast for years, I heard that a lot. Tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah,
That's it.
tuck and
There's
roll.
no stand-up landing. What does that mean?
You ain't coming in for a soft landing.
Oh, really?
I've got way over 100 pounds of gear with me, and the T10 parachutes, by design, are smaller in circumference to try to mitigate enemy,
Fire?
pretty much.
So you're coming down. How fast are you coming down?
Oh, I don't even know how to gauge that. Fast enough that if you don't keep your knees and feet together and look to the horizon, not to the ground, you'll have a compound fracture. Saw it.
Oof, that's no fun. That's no fun. You know what compound means, don't you, Clay?
Break, snap.
The bone sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no fun. That's boo. That's boo.
Yeah, that's not a move.
Yeah,
Now, okay, so you jump out, and it's the first time, and you're praying, please don't make me be the first.
I just
How
don't
many
want to be the first guy out.
How many guys are with you?
So my first jump, that what they do is they line up on the flight line, a whole line of C-141s. Huge aircraft.
How big is the aircraft?
Oh, good.
How many cars could you fit in the aircraft?
Several.
Several.
Yeah, and it on either side of that bird, probably they'd probably have 50 service members on each side going to the windows to
So you
parachute out.
we got a 1 in 100 chance of being the first guy. So you got a 99% chance
Andrew,
you're not going to be the first guy.
Andrew,
right?
pull this up on the
Yeah.
big screen. I want to
Yeah.
see if this is similar. Andrew, pull it on the big screen here. Okay, I'm gonna hit play. Does this look like the kind of craziness that you guys were doing? Does this
Yeah, that's
indic-
it.
That's it right
That's
there.
at the back end of a bird, but yeah.
Oh,
So on a C-141, we're going out
no.
a side door.
side door.
Yeah, I think that may be
That would be what I would be doing. See the guy hanging on to the
Yeah.
for dear life.
Yeah.
I'm not
You got
going.
him on a C-130 right there. Yeah,
I practiced the
we
same.
jumped out of those two.
My kids and we do this for a fun activity. We jump out of the side of the car.
Oh, yeah.
When
Moving?
it's parked. No, it's
Yeah.
parked.
Oh, that's
We just
good.
jump right off.
That's
and we just
good.
pretend like we're.
That's good.
Look at this. I'm getting scared watching this. Okay, continue with the story. I just want to.
Well, that's it. I mean, but you've got hundreds of guys there, and I mean, C-141's like lined up. So I'm just like, Lord, all right, I'm not afraid of heights. I've never really, you get that adrenaline rush. Even
Oh, yeah.
if you're,
You're
cliff
not
jumping
afraid of
into the
heights?
water. Not typically, but I still get that adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, Lord, I don't want to be the first guy out.
Oh,
And I
boy.
mean, I sure as
You knew it.
I'm the first guy
You're the first
in the
one.
line.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You
be the first one
I
down,
would've-
though.
I would have looked at the guy next to me and looked at his little name tag and said, hey, Carl, could you slide a little to your left? I dropped something.
And I'm telling you what, it's so like I'm there in the window. You got your arms in the window, right? And the jump master's got you held by the back.
The
And you're
jump
kinda-
master.
Very nice
Yeah,
of him.
kind of leaning out. You literally have a red, yellow, green light that goes, so they're corresponding with the pilots.
Oh.
To let you know
Oh,
when you
yeah.
got to go.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as that light goes green, the jump master's like, hey, you got to be ready to. You've got to go as soon as that
Lock
light
and
turns
load.
green, right?
Right.
And I'm telling you, like that light turns green, and I didn't even have the option to go. I was kicked out the door.
Oh, yeah.
And real quick, does this footage look like it? Andrew, cut to this real quick. Does this look more like it? These guys are off the side.
They're free falling.
Free falling. What does that mean?
So they're jumping out. So we use basically the cord system. So that there's a cord that's tied to our packs from the units that I was doing, which was the previous video clip that you showed.
Oh. Okay, so the previous clip, that's more.
It's a static line. So we
Okay.
jump out. There's about 15 feet of cord.
Oh,
And then as soon as you reach the end of that,
yeah.
it opens up the parachute.
Oh.
So you're doing jumps
no.
from, those are 1,000
No.
feet to 1,500 feet. So very
No.
low altitude jumps.
No.
But you don't really need a parachute for that low jump, do you?
Man, and you've got a backup too
Oh.
on
It
the front
almost-
in case that one doesn't open.
You know what? This is probably the best motivation I've ever had to maybe think the communists have a point. If I have to jump out to keep us free, I'm like,
I can't get through that. I can't get my head
maybe,
through the opening.
maybe communism makes sense. I would want to jump out of there. You guys,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you guys are making some serious sacrifices. I mean, did people ever cry on the way out? Like, no.
Stacey, I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
And you may not know the answer, but as far as a percentage of when a president takes over, it seems like the last, I don't know how many, there's been a percentage of our military guys in danger, fighting a war, or really policing some other country. Let's call it what it is, right? Historically. And so I wonder with Trump, I mean, I know that's one of his big things he's telling us is he wants to bring home everybody. How has he done so far in getting them home?
Yeah.
And what do you see as his stumbling blocks in order to be able to do that? Because now I hear that on the left they're saying, oh, no, we got to keep him there. We got to keep him there.
Right. Well, a little bit of backdrop I think is important to that answer. So as Obama was nearing the end, so he ran on the platform that he was going to bring our troops home, right?
Yes.
So he didn't do that. In fact, Obama created a number of multilateral war fronts that were unsustainable internationally. Obviously, no time to go into all those right now. You can research. It's easy to find. Then, when we were running up to the election, Obama started to pull in a lot of service members who were deployed to the Middle East. That created a vacuum. You guys know what that vacuum resulted in? ISIS. So the strength that Trump did, even in terms of his ultimate objective, was he freed up. So when General Mattis was selected to be Secretary of Defense, he freed up the rules of engagement, which was killing us. The rules of engagement under Obama were killing us on the battlefield.
Sure.
So President Trump freed those up with General Mattis. We engaged the enemy, destroyed ISIS. Long story short, Trump started bringing all of those troops home, and he's bringing even more home now. But that particular enemy had to be dealt with before and as a result of what Obama did.
For those that are listening, and they're not probably sure what you just kind of said there a little bit, you might unpack it. Engagement, the rules of engagement. How did that differ, and why was that significant, and why was that a game changer?
So those are the rules of engagement are essentially laws that are set forth to us through the Department of Defense and dictate how we engage an enemy. Meaning, just by way of example, do I have to wait until I'm engaged upon to return fire?
In other words, one rule could say you can't shoot at an enemy, even though you know it's an enemy, unless they shoot at you first.
Exactly.
Okay.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
That does, yeah. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
Well, that's it. So the rules of engagement got freed up dramatically under Mattis, so that we were able to effectively engage the enemy and destroy the enemy. Literally the mission of the Marine Corps Fire Team. So we were able to locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by firing an engagement.
Now, I have a final question, and I know whatever I ask, Paul's going to one-up me. But before I ask my question, what's your website one more time for the folks out there that want to look it up?
It is eagleops.org.
Okay.
And our Facebook page, which I really want to drive people to, is facebook.com/EagleOps1, the number 1, not spelled out, the digit.
Okay, I have many friends who've served in the military. So far, all of the ones I know, and it might be a confirmation bias because you can't really be around me and not love our country.
That's right.
Because I'll correct you on it.
It oozes from you, brother. I love it.
I'm just saying, if somebody says something disrespectful of our country, I will get disrespectful.
You will
with
throw
them real
punches.
fast.
Yeah.
And so it might be a confirmation bias, but everybody that I know who has served, and these would be people that went in the military between 1999 and present, all tell me they cannot find anybody that they know who is in support of Joe Biden. The military guys that I know who are serving in our country, who have served or who are serving currently, all of them tell me, hey, man, I listened to your show. Thank you guys for supporting our country. By the way, no matter what you hear in the media, we all are with Trump. Are you hearing a similar thing, or are you hearing people that in the military that do not support President Trump?
No. So what I think you're experiencing there, Clay, is just because you are such a passionate patriot that you've got a culturally based audience. So you just draw that type of audience.
Yeah, you're skewed.
I know, which I am
happen.
that same way, but because of the work that I do, both through Eagle Ops, working with lots of other organizations to include the VA, SAMHSA, and I work and engage kind of on multilateral fronts, if you will, and I know I had a Marine friend that voted, for example, for Bernie Sanders.
Really?
And that's a product. So when I highlight previously, when I say that our education system is indoctrinating our kiddos, it's no longer educating. He's a product of that, and there are several. I do know veterans.
Really?
Yes.
Are the majority in favor of Trump, or not
yeah.
so much?
No.
Oh, thank you. For a minute there, you stole my joy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I
No,
was-
That's all
Yeah.
it's here.
Hey, real quick, I've got it's a soundtrack for Joe Biden. See, I've been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
See, do you want to get the cowbell ready for this?
Absolutely.
This needs a cowbell
I
solo.
love
by
it.
you.
I love it when you pass
Just
it
give
to
us
me.
a strong beat. Give us a strong beat here. You ready, Z?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me
Okay,
down
go for it. Yeah,
something.
go ahead, get it going. That's the Bernie Sanders theme song.
That's
Wow.
wow.
it right there. I did a lot
Wow.
with it. I did a lot with it.
I think the cowbell added quite a bit
You
to
can
it.
get
by
it
the way.
going. Get it going again. It's
Okay.
part 2 because it builds like a symphony. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Get it going.
The Russia, USSR's national anthem. That always brings a tear to my
Paul
eye.
Hood, final question. One up as we wrap up today's edition of the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download.
There you go. I got one easy, one tough. One, why is it always got to be a 5K? Why can't it be a pie eating contest or a hot dog? I mean, I'd show up for that.
Oh yeah. Do
Yeah.
you want to coordinate that for us next
Oh,
year,
yeah,
Paul?
I might
I'll
do
put-
that.
I'll
I might
put you
do
out there,
that.
brother.
Oh, really?
You wanna coordinate
And then
that?
the second thing is we do have a lot of people that listen to us and that are very generous. So the question I have is, and I don't know if it's real or not, but you hear about Wounded Warrior and all that kind of stuff. So how can you convince me or give me the warm fuzzies that if I start sending Eagle Ops money every month, that is going for what you say it's going for.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, we're a legal 501c3. That's important.
Illegal,
We
not
are
illegal.
Correct.
Legal. Z, it's legal. That changes everything.
We
Oh,
are
changes
illegal.
it all.
Changes it all.
Yep.
Okay.
So we are a legal 501c3.
Yep.
We're getting ourselves established within a platform called GuideStar, GuideStar.com. GuideStar is to nonprofits what the IRS is to all of us. All of that information is public. You can find, if you want to check out any nonprofit, how their dollars are being spent, you can go to GuideStar.com and kind of see, you can see what their mission statement is and how they're operating and how they're spending their dollars. So I would say coming out to some of our rally points, we have rally points on a weekly basis. You can come out to those and see how we as an organization are living out, boots on the ground, the mission statement of connecting relationships and resources to bring our heroes home one operation at a time.
Brother, I appreciate you being here on the show.
Yeah,
And again,
thanks,
for anybody
Stacy.
out there, we have a lot of people that are driving around in their car right now. He's pulling in right now to one of those. It's one of those gas stations where you can take a shower there, and you can get a Subway sandwich there,
Oh yeah, I love them.
and you can get old chicken that's elderly. It's chicken that's been around for a while,
Yeah, if you're
and
lucky, you
pizza
get
that's old
pizza.
too.
Yeah, about a week old.
You pay like $0.25 for a shower, the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And they're just pulling in right now, and they're trying to write down that website.
Nothing-
One more time. Tell us that website one more time.
It is eagleops.org, and it's EAGLEOPS.org, and then facebook.com/EagleOps, the digit 1.
And I hate to do this to you, but the thing is, see, they're pulling in. They just now pulled in. They're there.
Yeah.
But they were eating beef jerky because that's what you do on the road trip. They're doing the beef jerky, and the person next to him was having some Skittles, and they
Yeah.
were kind of crunchy.
Yeah.
So they need the website one more time.
EagleOps.org. I love you, Clay. The Facebook is facebook.com, EagleOps1.
Okay. But see, I tell you what, I mean this. I know you mean this. We appreciate you. Welcome home. Thank you for all you do. And I wish there was something more we could do because I want to go slap around people who are Antifa. I do. I just don't understand people disrespecting our flag. And all I could say is if you are out there listening today and you have a family member of yours that is burning flags, perhaps put them in an epic headlock for a month or two.
A noogie.
A noogie. Give them a swirly. Do whatever you have to do because freedom is not free without the work of the sacrifice that you've made. So again, thank you on behalf of the entire Thrive Nation. It means the world to us.
Clay,
Amen.
when you give organizations like mine the opportunity to come on here and share our story, we become the voice for veterans all over this state and all over the nation, the silent majority in that sense. You are fighting for this country, and through you providing us this opportunity, what it does is it lets veterans know they have a place, a rally point.
Yeah.
I didn't touch on that, why rally points exist. We use rally points in my recon unit. We use those in case we're ambushed by the enemy. We had a place to go back to for extraction. Veterans come home and they isolate, defeated by an invisible enemy. We recreate rally points in our community. So when you give us the opportunity to say, come to the rally point, even if you're a patriot, a non-veteran, learn about patriotism.
When we get off, what we're going to do is I'll have Andrew give the information for the December conference, and you should come to that, and we'll see if we can give you an opportunity to just share what you're doing. And Z, let's end this show with a boom.
Why not?
Oh, well, the timing wasn't right earlier, but now I'm ready.
Okay.
Are you prepared?
Pretty much.
Psychologically, are you
Oh,
prepared?
yes, I'm ready, yes.
Paul, are you physiologically ready?
I am ready.
Andrew, are you feeling physically ready to go? I'm so physically ready. And impressive. Are you feeling spiritually ready to go? Yes. Wow. Oh, here
That's an important one.
Yeah.
Impressive. Okay, here we go.
Is your mom ready?
It's ready.
All right, just checking.
What did you just say?
I said, John.
Here we go. 3,
Three,
2, 1, boom.